Hello everybody. So today we'll speak about the final exam. So the first question, the first part of the final exam. My group teammate is Yu-Wen Hsiao, and my name is Lucas Cabanac. So first I will recall what is the purpose of the first part. So yeah, we'll see that. So the purpose is thanks to have a client and a server connected by a RMI, and the server will be connected to a database where we will have three tables. So employees, works in and departments. The employee will take a SSN, that is his private key, a name and a lot. The department will take a DID, that is a private key, the DNAME and his budget. And we'll have a table works in that will relay the SSN of the employee and the DID of the department, and for a long time does they work in the employee works in the department. Okay, so now we'll see what is RMI. So here is a basic representation of RMI. So we'll have a RMI demo that will be an interface. So an interface that will define the structure of the which method there is in the interface in order to be able to invoke them. So here we'll have the RMI server, where we'll have the implementation of the method that are in the interface. So here the do communicate string, do communicate method, sorry. And on the other side, we'll have the client part. So with the demo client that will use a stub that will be generated thanks to RMI compiler. And so here we have the client part and we have the server part. And so thanks for with a repository, the registry, the server RMI and the server client part will be able to communicate through the network. So it's what we will see today. So we'll see first the interface. So here just a simple interface that extends the remote from the Java RMI. And so here it's simply give, we'll see that later. Just like we have just one method, so that will return a string and name do communicate, and so it will take the query, and that's it. So we'll see the implementation on the server side. So to see in details, so here we have the RMI implementation on the server side. So that is extends the unicast remote object that are introduced thanks to the RMI server unicast remote object importation. And so here we need to give him a serial version, and we create we implement that is the attribute that will serve to store the database object. So when we create it, so the constructor, we just simple constructor where we will create the database object. So we'll see later what is going on here, but the database object is basically just to handle all the interaction with the database and encapsulate the database on the server side. So then we have the famous method that is a method that will be remotely invoked. Yeah. So to return a string like we saw before, and we'll take a query. So first we split the query in two. So in order to get the first wall, because the first wall will indicate us what the query is about. It's equal to a delete or an insert. It means that it will be an update query. So we ask to the database to do an update, and we send the query. And if depending on what is the result, if it's return 0, it means that the command succeed, and if not, the command failed. So that's just basic error handling. Then if the query first word is equal to select, that means that is a type of query. So we ask the database to do a query. So yeah. and if it's something else, like it's just unsupported SQL command. Okay, so that is the do communicate method. And so the string that will return is just the, how to say, it's even is the, like if it's just a simple query to add or to delete, we just respond if the command succeed or fail. And if it's a query, we just return what he asked for, like what the query was trying to get. And if not, error message. Okay, now we'll see the client part. No, first we'll see the server part, sorry. So here on the server part is really simple. We just create the main function, and we'll just create our RMI object, and we will bind it to RMI. So we will bind our RMI object to RMI. So in order to be able that, so the client will be able to look up for it. And so we just say that okay, we are bound, we are ready to use. We're already in use. And so for the database object, basically what we will do, so it's the object to handle with the database, to handle the interaction. So the constructor will, first we have the connection attribute and the statement attribute. When we create the database, we create the connection. So using the localhost, since the database will be on the localhost. And we create the statements from the connection. Then we have two methods, do update and do query. If it's just an update, we just use the statement to execute the update request. So using the query that we give in parameter. And and we return 0 if there is no problem, and 84 if there is a problem. And for the query, it's a bit more complicated. So we, as the same, we execute the query using the request that we get in the parameter. We print it out to make sure what's going on. And after we'll get the result. So while there will be so the result will be an array of results. And so if there is if there is more than one result, like for example, if we ask for a whole table, it will return each element of the table. So if there is still elements in the result, we'll pass through it. And so we'll just say that the result is equal to the result plus, actually we can just do a plus equal plus equal. But I don't know, I did like this here. Never mind. So here we just gather the information into the result string. So here we just get since all the database have 3 elements, we just get the 3 elements from the result. We get the string of the result, and we put it in just a simple string. And after, if the result is empty, of course, we just return that we did not find anything, and we return the result at the end. So basically, that's just like giving a query and like getting the result. Nothing really special, and encapsulate the connection and everything like this. Now on the client part, so on the client side, we'll create a scanner in order to get what the query of the user, what the SQL command you want to run on our database. And so we have the main part, the main function. Here first we will create the RMI object as the same way as on the server, if you remember. But here we use the implementation. But here we will use the naming that will look up on the RMI localhost RMI. And so if you remember, we can do that like the naming can look up on this address because on the server we bind it. We bind our RMI object on the name under the name RMI. So here on the client, when we look up for the error mail on the localhost, we can find it. And so while it's true, so infinite loop, we will just print display the sentence to make to tell the user what you need to do. So to enter the basically just asking him to enter the SQL command, and then we just put in our string query the input that the user give us, and then we use the RMI principle. So we will call remotely, we will invoke remotely the method on the server. So by doing do communicate and sending our query. And so we will get in string the server reply. And so we just print the result, command result, and the server reply. Okay, so basically that's all for it. So now we'll first I will show you the database. So the database that we have. So here we can see the CCU based database on which one we connect. And so here is the different table. So here we have the development table with the DID, the DNAME, and the budget. Here we have the employee, so with the SSN, the name, and the lot. And here we have the workscene table with the SSN, scenes, and DID value column. And so basically that's the database. And so here is just to type query directly. So for example, for no on, if we just want to see what there is, like employee that there is already on the database, we can see that there is already six employee on the database, so it's not empty. Okay, so now we'll do the test with our project. So let me find it. First, we need to. Oh yes, that's it. First, we need to start the MRI registry. So as I showed before, and it will generate the stub. Okay, so now that we run it, we can start to run the server first. So we run the server. Okay, so it's telling us that the RMI object is bound to the name RMI, sorry, and so it's ready to use. And now we'll launch our client. Okay, so now we have the server, we have the client. So for example, what I just so for example, if we want to do the same command as I just did before, up. So here we can see that we have the same result as on the SQL manager, MySQL workbench. So if we want to insert, for example, an employee, I just copy paste the SQL query. It's easier and faster for all of us. So we see that there is already this time, so we will put 7 in order to avoid the conflict. And we can say like fine now. And we will put 10 or 11. So Roman won't feel lonely. Okay, so we can see that the insert was with success. Now we'll try to delete maybe. So we'll delete which one? We'll delete an employee since we have done display. Where which one do we delete? Second one. Okay, so we can see that the command succeeded. And so if we take back this command, just to show that still it's one. Okay, we can see that we don't have the second one anymore. Antonin disappeared. So that works fine. You can see that there is the query, but just the select one. I didn't put the update query. I should. Which other command that can we? Okay, we can try to see the department. Okay, so we can see that here there is two departments, and I made a long query in order to show that everything is working smoothly. So basically, what this query will do, that's well, that's quite long. So we'll select the employee name, the working since the column, and the department the name. So in order to see the whole things. So here we do the inner join from employee and everything. So we to link all the database together since they are made like this in order to work like this. And so here we will display only the people that are in the department that is name communication. So okay, we'll see if it works. Up. Okay, so nice. So here we can see that there is Antoine that is working in the communication department since 2018. There is Roman since 2015 and Lucas since 2019. So now if you want to check the link, we can see that they are already existing. So like this, like this one that are in the communication department. Okay, so everything is working fine. Thank you for following this video and see you for the next one for part 2 of the final exam. Bye bye.